friends, welcome to my channel. This is Lori from Cruising for Treasure, and boy do I have a lot to show you. So grab your favorite drink and snuggle up on the couch, or set me going while you're doing your listing or your packaging or whatever, and just follow along. I had a total of 29 items, I think, that sold this weekend across 3 platforms, eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari. Nothing on Facebook. So diving right in. Now, disclaimer, I did have a sale of 45% off of 1,500 of my oldest items. So you will see quite a few low dollar items. These are things that are no longer working in my store. So I want to get them out the door. So it's not going to be obviously a bolo for you. It might be an idea of what not to be picking up. These are things that have probably been in my store for over a year, possibly 2 years, maybe even longer. So things that were picked up when different things were trending, which are no longer trending. So diving right in. Let's see. First off, we have a pair of, now this is always a bolo, okay? Keen. Ever since I've been reselling, Keen is a brand to pick up. The different styles have gone up and down as far as price, but this pair of really cute sandals, it's got a floral print underneath the solid blue there. Those sold for $30 in December. So that's pretty great. $30 for Keen, always a pickup for me. Let's see, this next one, this sold for $10.99. I picked this up at the thrift store. This is Xena Warrior Princess, and it was on sale. I want to say I got it for $2.50, but I might have paid $5. But it sold for $10.99, so it's not a bolo for sure. And it sat in my store until it went on sale for that much. So I would definitely say don't keep your eye out for those. Next, let's see. Sorry, all of these kind of got a little bit jumbled in my box as I was finding things. Okay, this is definitely a bolo. Y'all know how I like to sell my vintage underwear. This is 1990 Jockey for her, and this one pair of underwear sold for $19.99 full price. And I paid $2 at the thrift store. So that's a pretty good pickup. All right, I sold another pair of DSW shoes. I paid $5 a pair for a whole bunch of pairs in the summer when they had their big summer clearance. Let's see, these are Merrell with a Vibram sole, and my husband actually kept a pair in this size, and he says they're the most comfortable shoes ever. So they didn't sell a lot in the summer, but now that it's winter and people are looking more for this style of shoe, they're definitely selling a lot quicker, maybe one a week or so. So these sold for $33 and I paid $5. And I did list these as new without the box because I just don't want to bother, because it was at DSW, so all the box tops were gone, and they had even cut like the tops down on the boxes. So I'm not gonna ship those boxes. Anyway, so $33, not too shabby. Okay, this is a nice sale. I was happy to sell these. I got these in a lot from an online auction. I ended up probably overpaying for the auction. I will definitely, absolutely double, maybe even triple my money, but it might take a little while. So that's a risk you have to take. But these each sold for $45. So the fitted sheet and the flat sheet, or fitted sheet and flat sheet. It's Waterford linens, so it's definitely a good brand to look out for. They do hold their value. I paid $100 for the lot. If everything sells close to my listed price, it would be between $300 and $400, I believe. So these sold for $45 each, which is $90 total. And then I still have several pillowcases, I have a bed skirt, and I have a couple shams. So, I mean, I'll definitely make money. It's definitely profit, but, you know, it'll take a little while. So next is this tin, which I'm glad they sold. Again, I got a whole lot of these, and they are collectible. They just can sit for a little while. This sold for $12, and I don't remember how much I paid per item. Probably it was about $1 or less. So it's a good return on my investment. It's just gonna take a little while. So I've sold probably about half of the ones that I got from there. And then the rest, I'm assuming will sell as slowly. This one is really pretty. It's an ornament. I like selling my ornaments. I feel like I'm selling about one a day these days. Let's see. So this is a Pier 1 import. It's so beautiful. It's an egg shape. It's got the angel with the harp. It's dated 2018, and it comes in the original box. It's hand painted, and that sold for $13.47. I think I picked up 3 of these at one time, so that's the last one to sell. So that's cool. All right, where is this guy? Oh, here he is. This is a Soldiers of the World dolls, and you know, when I initially picked these up, Google Lens was not really a thing yet, and so I never did get them all completely identified. But I don't have many left, so I guess that's fine. I paid about $1 each. I got a whole lot of them, probably about 20, and I've sold most of them. This guy is a Confederate soldier, and sold for $9.62. So that was one of my sale items, 45% off. Okay, I just realized I left an item downstairs. Oh no. Okay, I will have to grab that. Okay, and that was one of my exciting ones. So, okay, let's see. This is definitely one of my exciting items. I picked this up in a lot from an online sale, and I had no idea when I was looking, like, what all was in there. But this pair of Polo Ralph Lauren loafers with the tassel on the front, look at that inside. These are vintage Polo Ralph Lauren, made in Italy. I mean, I just can't even. They were so great. I was so excited. And when I started researching them, I could not believe how valuable these were. And these are in such good condition. Like, even the tassels look really, really nice. The soles, you know, they're not great, but they're not horrible. Anyway, so I believe I listed them around $200. I got an offer this weekend for $140, and I could not accept them fast enough, because if someone's willing to pay $140 for loafers the week before Christmas, I'm here for it. Buy my loafers. In those cases, I'm just not gonna be super greedy, because I honestly, like, a lot of times with stuff like that, I kind of price it high because I can't find an exact comp, or I just feel like my item is maybe worth more than what's there. But at the end of the day, it's only worth as much as the buyer's gonna pay for it. So if someone's sending me an offer of $140, they understand the value, and this is their limit, and I'm happy with that. Now, obviously, that's, you know, that could be variable depending on the situation, but for those shoes, that situation, those circumstances, absolutely all day long. Next, let's see, I sold a Ken fashion set of clothing. This sold for $15, and it's dated 1987, which is kind of cool. Now, I've had these for a while, over a year. So I was quite happy. I thought maybe they would sell in the summer with all of the Barbie craze, but they didn't. So $15, absolutely. Next, This is kind of a silly sale. I've had this for forever. The Betty Crocker cookbook. You know, it used to be a bolo. I guess maybe it's not anymore. This is the 1950 version, but it was reprinted in 1998, so maybe that's why. So it sold for $9.62, so I definitely still made a couple bucks on it, but you know, I'm not gonna pick up, certainly not the 1998 facsimile edition anymore. Okay, next, you know what, I got these, let me see, are these the right boots? Hang on. Yes, they are. Okay. A pair of Corks Gemini ankle boots. These sold for $27. So cute. Really adorable. Leather booties. And then they have like the V slit in the front. So those sold for $27. And actually this weekend it was kind of amazing. Sorry, my hair is like driving me crazy. This weekend I actually sold quite a few pairs of shoes and I have a ton listed. So I was very happy about that because I need to sell shoes. I need to weed out that area in my eBay room. Okay, so next is Cherished Teddies. This is absolutely not a bolo. It was one of those things that I picked up. I got a massive haul. Literally, this was back when we had our minivan. I filled every nook and cranny of my minivan at this auction, and I got a lot of junk that I really shouldn't have gotten. And once the new year comes, I'm gonna knock it all out of my store. But this was one of the things that I got. I paid pennies for it, so I'm not losing money, but I just need to get the dead weight out of my store. But anyway, all of that. Cherished Teddies, this is Sweden. Kirsten is the name, and that sold for $5. So again, I'm making money, but it's sat in my store for over a year. So am I really making money? You know what I'm saying? Okay, next, it fell over there. Hang on one second. Okay, I got it. This is an heirloom handcrafted Battenberg topper for a tablecloth. So cute, new in the package. But I did just realize as I was, you know, grabbing it for my room, it did, like, there is some color spots from aging in the package, like inside. So I'm probably going to contact the buyer and just let him know. Because actually, let me look at my listing. I don't know that I noticed that when I listed it, and so I don't know that I put it in there. Yeah, I didn't put it in the listing. So I'm going to send them a message. I'm probably going to refund them a little bit of the purchase, maybe even half, because it sold for $29.99. Yeah. But anyway, regardless, that is a nice item, $29.99. It's not even branded. Other than the Battenberg lace. So that's, you know, that's unfortunate. And it didn't happen under my watch like it happened before, but I should have disclosed it in the listing. So that's a problem. Anyway, moving on. Danone mug, which I had showed you before. You know, these are worth something, and especially if you get them in the cute little boxes and you list them, you know, in a set or whatever. For whatever reason, I like to list things separately. And so that's how it goes. But this sold for $8, and it's got the branding on the bottom. It's really a beautiful mug, and it's like metallic gold. So pretty. $8. I haven't sold as many mugs this year as I thought, but honestly, I've cut back on what I buy, and I just haven't found a lot of good ones recently, so that definitely plays into it. Okay, this is an LL Bean Amera bag. It's black, and then it has leather accents and such. And it is kind of faded, a little bit worn, but this sold for $34. So that's definitely, LL Bean is a brand you just get no matter what. And then their Emera bags are also highly sought after. And I've only found and sold 2 or 3, including that one, in the whole time I've been reselling. So, but definitely if you find one, grab it and sell it. $34. And they've retained that price point because that's about what I sold the first one for that I ever found. Okay, this is something that I got at the thrift store. And I think I actually paid $4 for these because I thought they might be worth more. But the brand is Natori, Josie Natori, which is definitely a Bolo brand. But apparently pink thong panties aren't quite the Bolo. But they sold for $13, so I certainly made some money back on them for sure. But anyway, next is this. I got a large amount of career clothes from a lady who had fairly elegant tastes. So we had a bunch of Talbot's knee-length career skirts, which you definitely can put that in the title as your keyword. Career, workwear, modest, church. Anyway, this is a wool blend pencil skirt for women, and it sold for $15. So I picked up, like I said, I got a huge lot, and I don't even know, maybe I paid 50 cents to $1 per item. And so, selling into, and they actually have been selling, decently since I got them. Okay, so this, remember I was talking about the cheapo, okay, there's something talking to me in the box. Remember I was telling you how the cheapo perfume gift sets can sell for a decent amount of money. Apparently not Britney Spears' fantasy. Maybe the hype about her isn't real because this did not. I've had this. I got a huge stack of these, not this brand, but like the gift sets a couple years ago. This is the last one to sell. And it sold for $9.62 on my 45% off sale. So that probably says something. You can interpret that as you wish. Okay, next is a policeman's Build-A-Bear outfit, and this sold for $4.12. So hopefully I made some money on that. I got it at one of those children's consignment things. Oh, and I paid $1.50. So after fees, maybe I made $1. Yeah, and it has sat in my store for a while. So moving on, we have this lovely shabby, Simply Shabby Chic, which is absolutely a brand to keep an eye out for. This sham sold for $16.49. This was part of my 40% off sale. So the issue with this is probably that I just had it priced too high in the first place. Perhaps if I had listed it at, $22 or $19.99, something like that, it might have sold quicker. Okay, so here is an item. These sweaters, if y'all can find the Polo Ralph Lauren cable knit V-neck sweaters, these do really well. Whether they're men's or women's, they can do really well. This sold for $29. And it's a size extra large. And it's in really great condition, so that's always a bonus. All right, let's see, the last couple, let's see, eBay sales. Okay, where is this? All the way at the top? Okay. Vintage linens, absolutely. Especially if you find them in the package, it is a must buy. So here we have spring made in this, to me, it's incredibly dated pattern. It's like the lattice work with roses, pink roses. I'm positive this is from the 80s. Maybe early 90s. Anyway, I had it listed for $79.99 for the whole set. The pillowcases, and then the flat sheet and fitted sheet, and they are queens, which is good. And I had a couple people just trying to get them for nothing, and so I was going back and forth. Anyway, I did finally sell them for $59 for the whole set, so that's still a great return for me. And like I said, anytime you can find vintage linens, new in the package, absolutely pick them up because they are worth money. Okay, this is a really funny sale because I don't even know that I would ever have known about this unless I saw it in an online auction. So typically what I do when I see an auction and I'm scrolling through and I see something that I don't know much about, it catches my eye, I do a little bit of research. Especially if the lot is, you know, hasn't gone very high in price. And so it was a lot of plush items, and there were several things in there that just kind of looked interesting to me. So I looked them up, and especially this guy, because I always, any brand that I recognize that is kind of in an unusual form from what I'm used to seeing that brand in, I look it up, because if it's a brand that sells well and it's in a different form than I usually see it, that means most likely it was a limited release, limited edition, limited run, which means there weren't that many items, which means the value may be high. So this is case in point. I saw the Woolrich, okay? And that caught my eye because Woolrich is a really good selling brand. And then to see a woolly sheep was kind of interesting to me. So it's playful plush, soft and cuddly, and it has the tags on it and everything. It's from 1988, all right? Can you guess how much this guy sold for? Okay, I won't keep you in suspense. $55 plus shipping for a plush woolly sheep. Woolrich. I just don't even, I don't know. So anyway, $55, okay. Sold out the door. Isn't that crazy? Let me know if you would have recognized that as an item that had value. When you were just kind of scrolling past, would you have said, oh, I bet I could sell that for $55? Let me know. I would love to chat about it. Okay, so let's see. Pulling up my Poshmark. Uh-oh, we're slipping out of the box. Okay, this is a Marquis by Waterford hot air balloon ornament. I believe I paid $5 for this, and it sold for $23. These really aren't worth a ton of money, the Marquis by Waterford and the ornaments. I mean, obviously, I've got a pretty good profit here. Excuse my husband as he's coughing at his desk. I have a pretty good profit margin, but you really have to be careful of what you pick up, because they're not all worth a whole lot of money. Anyway, so $23 on Poshmark. And that was my one and only sale on Poshmark this weekend. Poshmark has completely died for me. I don't know what it is. I am mystified, to be quite honest. Looking at my stats compared to the last several years, it's just not, I'm not hitting. I'm above 2020 levels, but I'm below the last 2 years levels for year to date. So that's concerning. Okay, so my two Mercari sales though. Mercari is being nice to me. A Furby. I am not a fan of these toys. I just really am not. They're just creepy, okay? They are creepy and weird. This sold for $30, which includes shipping. I had a guy who was messaging me on Mercari and was like, would you take $20? I'm like, no, this includes free shipping, so no. Plus, it's not, you know, super light, so it's gonna cost a little bit to ship it. Anyway, so he's like, well, what's the lowest you'll take? And in my head, I'm thinking $30, which is what I have it priced at. Anyway, so I just never answered him because this weekend was just crazy. And then it ended up selling for $30. So I don't know if it was the same guy or not. I'll have to check. But anyway, okay. And then my other sale on Poshmark, Mercari, was comic books. So I got a lot for, I paid I think $13, and it ended up being 3 complete Indiana Jones series from Dark Horse Comics. And it was Indiana Jones and the Spear of Destiny. So it's 4 books from that series, and it sold for $45, which includes shipping on Mercari. So I paid like I said, $12 or $13 for all of them, and so $45, that's not bad. Plus I have the other 2 sets listed as well. So I am pretty happy about that. And yeah, that sold full price. They didn't even ask to, get a lower price. So, okay. I actually have to, my husband's going to love this because he's going to have to edit this. I have to run downstairs and grab the pièce de résistance from this weekend. So I will be right back. Okay, this is my pièce de résistance for the weekend. It's a nutcracker. And I showed this on one of my shorts, one of my mini hauls, and I picked it up at Goodwill for $8. It is a Steinbach. It has the stamps and such on the bottom. It is supposed to be Bob Cratchit and Tiny Tim from A Christmas Carol. Obviously, it's missing Tiny Tim. Is also supposed to have a scarf or shawl that wraps, I guess for a man it would be a scarf, that wraps around, and it's missing that. So when I saw it at my Goodwill, I immediately zoomed in to it, grabbed it, put it in my cart, and then looked it up. And if it were complete with everything, it would sell for between $200 and $300. So my thought process was, even missing Tiny Tim and the shawl, it is going to bring, for $8, I could ask $100 and might sell it. Because otherwise it's in really great condition. There's a little tiny paint chipping here on the elbow, but I mean, when you're facing it like this, no one's really gonna see it, honestly. So, anyway, I figured it was worth the risk, even though none of the comps showed a completed sale missing Tiny Tim. And actually, honestly, none of the available listings showed him missing Tiny Tim. I don't know what time. I actually walked around the whole Goodwill looking for Tiny Tim, but I couldn't find him. Anyway, so I listed it for $115, and it got interest almost immediately, and I sent out multiple offers. Anyway, I can't remember if I sent an offer for the sale that ended up happening or if they sent me an offer. Regardless, it sold for $85. So $8 into $85, I would do that every day, all day long. If only that could be my reselling career, that would be amazing. But anyway, so he is my last nutcracker, so I'm kind of sad about that. I don't have any more. So I think that makes 3 that I've sold this year. I sold this guy, I sold the Cozy Santa, I sold the snowman. So that's 3. And between all of them, that's $500, over $500 in sales just in nutcrackers in the last month, which is phenomenal. And I did pay $90 for the Cozy Santa, and then $8 for this one, and I think I spent $5 on the other one. So we're talking just over $100 that I spent, and flipped that into over $500, that's great. I love that. So nutcrackers, that's where it's at this year. Nutcrackers. Now, if I could only find some more, that would be amazing, because I really don't find them very often. 3 in 1 year was, or 3 in 1 December was very unusual. I think last year maybe I found 1 or 2 that were nice. But yeah, it's very rare. It's very rare. Anyway, so that is what is happening today. I gotta get all of this stuff packaged up, and we have Christmas shopping to do, we have packing to do, we have just all the things to do. There's a batch of Christmas cookie dough chilling in the refrigerator, so that's gonna be fun. Anyway, thank you so much for taking the time to watch all the way through to the end. If you made it to the end, why don't you leave me a comment and I will just heart it all up, and you will just be my favorite subscriber. Which brings me to the point, if you haven't yet, please hit the like and the subscribe button. That would be amazing. But thank you so much for watching today. I really do appreciate it. I hope you're having a fabulous time enjoying all the benefits of the season, and we'll see you next time. Thank you so much.